The conservative civil war is in full swing, and there's one person at the center of it. Sid from Ice Age. No, wait, it's Candace Owens. Candace has officially left the cult of science.
And he was talking about the earth curvature and science, and I said to him, listen, I'm not a flat earther, I'm not a round earther. Actually, what I am is I am somebody who has left the cult of science.
And in return, she started her own cult. She thinks space is fake.
I'm telling you, space has always been exceedingly fake and gay.
She thinks this because she doesn't understand the radio existed before cell phones.
Homies were on the moon making phone calls before the time of cell phones, like, hey, what's up, Prez?
She's now turned into a full-on flat earther because she has a grudge with science.
Because I don't know if the earth is round or flat or an octagon or anything. Science is obviously a faith. Science, what it is actually, if you think about it, is a pagan faith.
Which basically means she doesn't believe in any hard evidence. Everything is based off her vibes.
I've just been around. I just know things because I've just been around.
Honestly, that is so relatable to me. I can't even explain it. I just know things because I've been around, because there are so many scenarios that I find myself in where I'm unable to articulate the point. I'm unable to articulate the natural reaction that I have when somebody tries to sell me garbage.
Like the earth being round or dinosaurs existing. She thinks dinosaurs are fake and that they were given the media treatment.
After, and I was like, dinosaurs? That seems pretty fake and gay.
What's that even mean? Is she turned on by it? Is she gonna touch flaps with the Dilophosaurus?
People are like, what do you mean? Of course, dinosaurs, it's all very real. The historians say so, the geologists say so, the scientists say so, there are fossils that say so. Tyrannosaurus Rex, they were definitely roaming the earth. Didn't you see Jurassic Park? It even got the media treatment.
Steven Spielberg is a Jew. Ben Shapiro calls Candace a window licker for baselessly accusing Erica Kirk of killing Charlie.
Candace Owens says, I don't know, but I know. That is retarded, and we are all more retarded for having heard it.
If there is going to be one solitary person who convinces me, who has convinced me that the public is justified in looking into Erica Kirk, it is Ben Shapiro, okay? Didn't like Charlie. You're telling me he's just obsessed with defending the honor of his widow? No, he's fearful. He's fearful of something about Erica Kirk.
He's just asking you to stop accusing Charlie's freshly widowed wife of murder. This has turned into her running a cult. She can make any allegation against anyone and her viewers will just believe it. She baselessly claims Tim Pool's brother helped him fake a shooting at his office for clout. Tim Pool starts crashing out because Candace is just making stuff up.
Candace Owens is a evil scumbag.
She's comparing him to Jesse Smollett, who faked a hate crime against himself.
He's a small person for this. A very small person who is also theatrical, Timothy Smollett, who pretends every year like people are trying to kill him.
She's calling him a baby for being mad at false allegations.
What you are seeing right there is on a display of testosterone. Men that speak to women like this are not tough guys, okay? What you are seeing is actually a display of estrogen.
Candace claims to be doing an investigation, but really it's just endless allegations against people she doesn't like. It is destroying the right-wing political space. She's framing herself as a journalist, but she's not doing any research. She just comes up with new allegations. Make it your New Year's resolution, Candace. And New Year's resolutions fail for one reason. We try to remove the bad habit without replacing it. Well, Fume is that replacement. Fume is a flavored air device that lets you satisfy the urge to reach for something without it having nicotine, vapor, or batteries. Just clean, natural flavors and a fidget-friendly design that feels great to use. Seriously, it's the best adult fidget toy and it comes in a wide variety of flavors. And to kick off the new year, Fume is doubling down on helping people break their old habits. Literally, for every flavor core you order, your order is doubled. Order 1 pack, get 2. Order 3, get 6. And when you order the Journey Pack using my code, you also get a free topper. It's January, so don't just try to quit. Upgrade your habit loop by going to tryfume.com/WillyMac. Thank you, Fume, for sponsoring this video.
Shut the fuck up.
Candace Owens' investigations follow a pattern. She will make an allegation, base it entirely off of an unrelated thing she calls evidence, then determine that it's a fact because of her gut feeling or her common sense.
Again, I'm a gut player. It's common sense. Common sense. Common sense, okay?
The First Lady of France is suing Candace for claiming she's secretly a trans man.
Brigitte Macron was born a dude named Jean-Michel Trogneau.
Well,
and I just feel, I want you to know that. I want you to know that Brigitte Macron probably stands peeing up.
This is all based off of Candace Owens looking at Brigitte's family photograph and determining that Brigitte must be lying about being the little girl. She's actually the boy on the left.
We're being told that Brigitte is this little girl in the lap of her mother sitting here in the front. But the public
Whenever Candace says she's speaking for the public, she's just talking about her own made-up allegations.
thought, wait a second, Brigitte looks more like that little boy on the far left. If I am guessing what took place here, Jean-Michel Trogneau took Brigitte Trognau's identity at some point. It's very obvious he kind of becomes his sister. That's what seems to be the most logical conclusion based off of everything.
See, she's claiming that this little girl isn't Brigitte Macron. She actually died. No reason to think that. And the trans version of this boy took over her identity and became the future First Lady of France. Jean-Michel Trogneau is Brigitte's brother. He's 80 years old and he's still alive. This is all being interpreted from a single photo, but to Candace, that's enough to make it a fact.
I remember the first time that I saw that photo because that's actually what got me involved in the case. It was, for me, a matter of common sense. I just looked at the photo and the Daily Mail was trying to tell me that the little girl on the lap was young Brigitte. And I just looked over to the left of the photo and I said, no, I have two eyes. Obviously, I don't even know what the theory is, but that's clearly Brigitte.
It doesn't matter that Brigitte has kids. Candace has common sense and spiritual dreams.
Similarly, like I just said, had a vivid dream this weekend and Charlie came to me and he told me that he was betrayed.
Why didn't he just tell you who did it? Well, then she couldn't milk Charlie's death for another 6 months. The Macrons are suing Candace Owens for lying and defamation, but Candace says that they're only suing her because she's telling the truth.
This is just an intimidation tactic. They obviously have not answered any of our questions to put an end to this, which completely removes them from this claim that they're being so mentally anguished, but they can't just simply assert the truth.
Yes, people tend to get mad when somebody spreads lies about them to millions of people, but Candace isn't just stupid. She's acting maliciously. She lies to her audience constantly. She claims that she's welcoming the court case and that she's never going to try and dismiss it because she cares about the truth.
Everything that you've said for the past 20 minutes makes me think they'd be crazy to bring this to trial because that would allow you discovery.
I think they're banking on us dismissing it. I think one of two
Dismissing
options.
it, what does that mean?
You can at first file to dismiss the case because you're going, hi, we have the First Amendment right. This is crazy. It's coming from Paris. I mean, like, why on earth would we honor this at all? Typically, in a normal scenario, a judge would dismiss this case because it's completely crazy.
Candace thinks if the First Lady of France wanted to prove that she was a woman, she would just post her nude photos online.
Clearly, they're not going to go through discovery, right? If you were going to go through discovery, you would have just published pictures a long time ago and put an end to all the rumors, right? Because then you're gonna have to give me proof.
So you're not going to try to have the case dismissed?
I certainly do not want to have the case dismissed.
Amazing.
Yeah.
She's lying though because she's already filed a motion to dismiss it on the grounds of free speech and that defending her case in Delaware would cause her financial hardship. So not only does Candace not have evidence of her initial claim, but she's lying about being principled to her audience. And now that she's being held legally accountable, she's claiming it's the work of Satan.
These people are satanic, right? That you can't beat me in the arena of truth and facts.
You don't know the truth because you have no facts.
Like, that's what this lawsuit is. I'm going to impoverish you for telling the truth.
In Candace's mind, the only proof she needs that she's right is somebody telling her she's wrong. This is how paper thin her investigations are. Her proof that the moon landing was fake is because of the heat and radiation from the Van Allen belt.
Okay, so there's a Van Allen belt. So we have never gone beyond that belt, right? There's been no human that's gone beyond that belt since the moon landings, allegedly. And not even Elon Musk, when they go out to space, they have to stay, like, there is a space station, but like once you get 200 miles out, you hit the Van Allen belt, which has an incredible amount of radiation. NASA has said, like, in order for us to get through it, we'd have to have cement blocks around someone.
NASA has never said that. She made that up. Also, the Van Allen belt was discovered by an astrophysicist named James Van Allen. He determined you could just fly through weaker regions of it as long as you were going fast enough. NASA did this 6 times. So the discovery that she's basing her conspiracy off of was disproven by the same guy who discovered it. Candace then gets made fun of by Bill Maher on Twitter, and for her, that's proof enough that she's right about the moon landing being fake.
And then what's interesting is, like, Bill Maher made fun of me for this, like, a little tweet that I said that, I don't know, the moon landing just seems weird. And whenever the media, like, tries to make you feel like you're stupid, that's usually, for me, like, the first breadcrumb that, like, you're onto something.
Bill Maher made fun of her, and that's all she needs to confirm that space is fake. Biggest podcaster in the world, by the way. Candace thinks dinosaurs are fake because she hasn't found any bones while walking around her neighborhood suburb.
And it is the case that dinosaur bones, for whatever reason, are always just found by the paleontologist. Like, it's not like you and me walking outside. I'm like, hey, a dinosaur bone. And, or by somebody who's related to a paleontologist. It's very strange.
Yes, that does happen. Just Google it. A rancher in Montana found record-setting dinosaur teeth. So Candace makes a claim, gets proven wrong, and then she just says that dinosaurs are an anti-Christ conspiracy and claims she wins the argument.
Then because I got into and very much subscribe and believe and know to be true that there is a Christ conspiracy that's happening right now, which is the intentional removal of Christ because they want people not to believe in God, but instead to believe in humans.
Candace then brings on her conservative gay friend, and he says that finding out dinosaurs was fake was almost as traumatizing as when he was touched as a child.
She's a part of this.
You don't know what it took for me to let go of dinosaurs, and it took me years.
I know.
It took me years to let go of dinosaurs.
But dinosaurs is hard for
Like,
guys.
Jurassic Park is like it is aside from
fake and gay though.
Aside from getting raped, it is the like seminal moment of my childhood.
What the hell is going on? The word seminal means strongly influencing later developments or relating to semen. This man is trauma dumping his childhood, but coding it behind dinosaurs being fake.
That was such a penetrating.
Dude, just please stop.
Penetrating thing for me. Jurassic Park and dinosaurs.
I don't think this guy's just talking about dinosaurs. She chews on glue sticks like candy bars, and her logic isn't any more thought out when she's covering Charlie Kirk's murder.
I'm a cross-dressed man and I'm here to dance. I got an inch where I'm snuggled in my boot cut pants.
Candace thinks Charlie Kirk was a time traveler.
The first thing that I want to remind you guys is exactly what I said at the top of the show. It is an absolute fact that Charlie Kirk thought that he was a time traveler. He told me he was a time traveler repeatedly. I said to him in response that I didn't feel the same way and that I thought I was from another planet, that I was an alien my entire life. Just do not get it here.
Other times she talks about him like he's an X-Men. He'd go for a run and the street lights would flicker.
And a lot of weird things used to happen to Charlie. He would go on runs. I think I told you guys this after sundown. And when he was running, street lights would go out. Like it was like he was in a burst of energy, like he was a lightning bolt or something.
1.1 million views, by the way. The other reason she thinks Turning Point was in on Charlie's murder is because there wasn't enough blood when Charlie was shot, which is just insane if you've seen the video.
So then it kind of occurred to me that what I shared was a bigger deal than I had imagined by saying that I didn't see any blood. And that is a fact. I did not see any blood. In fact, the only blood that I did see at all, I'm talking about blood on the back, was on Charlie's hand, on Charlie's left hand.
The basis of this conspiracy is that there was no exit wound, which a 30-06 round should leave, and that people saying otherwise are covering up the truth.
People were asking questions like, hey, how is that possible? How was there nothing in the back? If this is the gun that was used. Andrew Colvett tweeted this. I want to address some of the discussion about the lack of an exit wound with Charlie. The fact that there wasn't an exit wound is probably another miracle.
1, the bullet was found in Charlie, so I don't even know how the round can be disputed. 2, MLK was killed by the exact same round, and the bullet was found in him too. She claims that Turning Point USA, Charlie's own company, is weaponizing faith to manipulate their audience to cover up that they actually killed them.
The statement objectively feels to me like the manipulation of a Christian audience, right? They know Charlie's audience is Christian, and therefore what they're selling to us is you should believe, you're a believer, right? As a Christian, you believe in miracles, right? Like you believe in Christ and the miracles that Jesus performed, right?
Candace, we just watched you use faith to manipulate your audience into saying dinosaurs in space are fake, but now she's taking a stand.
Well, then you should just believe this. There's something about that I don't like.
But Candace manipulates her audience with faith all the time. She's talking about how Charlie is reaching out to her in her dreams. She's posting on Instagram to pray to God to help her expose the cover-up. Then she suddenly gets a tip in her inbox, and it's another anonymous man, this time in the military, and he's gonna blow this case wide open. She says, I genuinely can't see this as anything other than an immediately answered prayer. So what is this tip? Nothing. She speaks as if there's proof, but she shows nothing. She's just making it up.
What I'm about to tell you guys today is going to positively blow your mind. I just cannot see how this would lead to anything other than a full confession from the government about the military's involvement in his assassination, but I'm just going to deliver the facts and see where they land.
She doesn't have any facts. She just talked to some random guy who's claiming he saw high-ranking officers at a fort planning Charlie Kirk's murder. And the best part is he gets all the ranks wrong.
And he sees 2 guys, and he's pretty impressed. He's like, whoa, these are, again, military term, E4, E5s. He told me that means that they're lieutenant colonels. He sees about 12 lieutenant colonels. He tells me, you do not see that many people, that many E4s, E5s, E6s, Please, military guys, forgive me for me not knowing what the proper vernacular. But he just goes, well, what's going on? He's like, you don't see this unless you're at the Pentagon or you're at the White House. You just don't see this many high up the food chain lieutenant colonels.
But like her own comments point out, if the source says E4 to E6 and the words lieutenant colonel in the same breath, he's full of shit. Ex-military vets will never get those acronyms mixed up, ever. If you talk to anyone in the military, they will quickly point out how E4s and E5s are not high-ranking lieutenant colonels. I talked to Tommy C, and he said that that was his rank. So what is an E4, E5, E6?
I was an E4. I have the sham shield, as it's called. You've been in the military long enough not to be an NCO, but also long enough to learn how to avoid a lot of responsibilities. In fact, if you're a private, you kind of get in traps and get called to duties. If you're E4, you kind of know how to sham. So I think the criticism is viable. I think it's also just as likely as she misspoke. But you would think if you're going to accuse the military of something this serious, like an assassination of a U.S. citizen, that you might have all your ducks in a row and understand what an enlisted person is and what an officer is. Clearly, she didn't know that. There's no way to know if her source didn't know that.
This was her proof. She clearly didn't even try to fact check it before going live. She's using this to say that the government needs to admit that they're complicit in Charlie Kirk's murder. But what we can prove is that Candace's source from God, Mitch Snow, is insane. It's basically just Candace throwing names at Mitch and then Mitch claiming he saw them at the fort plotting Charlie's murder. She's like, what percentage did you see Charlie Kirk's head of security there?
You had to put it at a percentage that you were looking at Brian Harpole. What percentage would you put it at?
95.
95%. Okay.
95 to 99.
Candace asks her, did you see Erica Kirk? Mitch starts nodding.
If you had to put it at a percentage that you saw that the girl in the ponytail matches the description of Erica Kirk, what percentage would you put that at?
Those are really rare eyes. That's 95 to 99%. I can't imagine somebody else. There's a picture of Erica Kirk with a ponytail, and from her past. That person matches who I saw at Fort Huachuca in the lobby the night before.
Candace just starts showing Mitch congressmen, and he's like, yep, that one was there.
We did look through some congressmen, and I didn't tell you where they were congressmen from, but there is one that you thought looked familiar. And I am going to show that picture of him now. Mark Amoti from Las Vegas, and you thought that this could potentially be the congressman that you saw on the 9th?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
what
the one that walked closest to me.
That's the one that walked closest to you?
That's 95. I'm absolutely, after I've looked at it, that was definitely the guy.
Oh, that guy? Yep. Seen him before, no doubt about it. Except Congressman Amidei was not there. He responded to Candace, posting a tweet showing that he was at a committee hearing. Candace then immediately goes live calling Mark Amidei a liar without even watching the evidence he posted.
For 12 hours locked into this meeting, and so there I am. There's my alibi. Well, very quickly, the interneted and realized that actually he missed 2 of the roll calls that happened in the morning, and that he was present in the evening or late afternoon. We are still working to verify that.
What do you mean you're still verifying that? He then admits 2 weeks later that she wrongly accused him.
Then Mark Amidei came out and he had dropped a YouTube video of a live stream of him on a committee. This was a 12-hour House committee video. We certainly did not have the time to parse through it in our last episode last year.
Why would you report that he was there without verifying?
I did, of course, make that a priority during break. I did go through that 12-hour footage. And I would like to now state unequivocally that I think his story checks out.
Incredible journalism. You'd think this would lead to Candace no longer trusting Mitch's word, but no. Mitch then changes his statement from, I saw Brian Harpole, Charlie Kirk's head of security there, to I actually saw a Daily Wire employee named Cabot Phillips. These 2 people look nothing alike.
I send him the picture of Cabot Phillips, and he says, yes, that's the person I remember being at the base. Now I'm like, that would be totally crazy.
Yeah, because this guy's obviously lying. A lady asked Candace point blank if Erica Kirk posted proof that she was at home with her kids. Would Candace accept that?
I wonder if say, Erica does provide something, are people going to be, are they going to accept that from her?
I would, and I would end it. That's like, my goal is not to look stupid, right? So like, if she gives me like an alibi, and she's like, here's where I was. Like, why would I not just instantly be like, hey, here, like it wasn't her?
So Erica posts pictures proving she was with her kids on September 9th at 8:33 a.m. Candace then claims, well, she could have been at the fort the night before, so it's not a good alibi. The fact is, most people don't have proof of where they were every hour of every day, but even when they do, Candace calls them a liar. Cabot Phillips posts footage of him in Nashville and pictures of him buying balloons on the 8th and 9th. Candace then says that's not good enough because he can fake his metadata, so she demands he text him the photo. He does do that, shows that he texted it to Candace, and Candace never acknowledges it. Mark my words, she's going to get sued. Cabot works for Ben Shapiro, so she just starts saying that Israel's a part of this.
Definitely starting to think in a major way that Israel's got something to do with killing Charlie Kirk. It leads you to Israel. It just does, okay? There's no question. That's why they were panicking about the Egyptian planes. Fort Huachuca is involved in lawsuits and sworn affidavits regarding 9/11. I just sense that there's something there. Because Ben is coming undone, and he only comes undone about one topic, and that is Israel.
Again, Candace's proof that she's right about things is that people are telling her that she's wrong. She can never be wrong then. She's holding up Charlie Kirk's corpse like a shield.
In many ways, I see everything that Charlie wanted. I understand that he knew he was going to die, and I understand that it has to be me that defends him and exposes this entire matrix to the world.
Think about the logic here. Erica and Cabot need unobtainable proof that they weren't at this fort. Meanwhile, Mitch needs zero proof to accuse them of being there. Remember, Candace's source from God, Mitch, is supposed to be airtight. He's supposed to get a confession from the federal government.
I just cannot see how this would lead to anything other than a full confession from the government about the military's involvement in his assassination.
Well, he's the most unreliable narrator ever. He's been caught making up stories about his ex-wife, locking him in the garage and breaking all of his bones.
Lures me to the garage that she pre-set up to be like a little prison. You know, she broke the garage doors. Hoarded stuff was stacked against the windows and the other doors. And she lured me in there and attacked me. Hit me with a hammer and, break my thumbs, my feet, back of my skull.
His wife is making the dog maul their kid.
Eventually, I was hearing my son cry. I was worried about him, having her maul him with the dogs again. And she had done that multiple times. He had been hurt really bad.
But you see, when he walked outside, the cops were already there. He got set up.
As I walked outside, trying to just get away from her or drag her towards me so she was not, my son doesn't get hurt. I saw there was already cops there.
But this entire encounter was videotaped by his wife. He made up everything. He's hitting her car with a hammer because she gave her cousin the keys.
Touch that Mustang. Stop it!
Touched it.
Do not hit my Mustang.
Videotape me all you want. You're ruining our relationship because you gave your keys to your cousin.
I didn't give my keys to anybody.
Hey, Mitch, where's all your broken bones? And I thought she was the one with the hammer. He's completely fine. And he's being the aggressive one.
I can defend myself all I want because you're being insane.
You want to video record shit?
You want to threaten to hit my car with a hammer? God damn it! Marriage over, Mitch. Goodbye.
She then runs inside. You could hear the kid. It doesn't sound like he's being mauled by a dog. This ended up going to court and Mitch was found guilty of a gross misdemeanor. He was arrested the same day of the incident. People are posting this showing that Mitch is an unreliable narrator and Candace is writing it off like it's fine. Tweeting Operation Delegitimize Mitch seems to have backfired rather spectacularly. In what world did it backfire? It actually does prove that this guy is constantly lying. Candace just goes on stream saying that she doesn't care and the criticism is stupid.
Talking about his ex-wives. I was like, I don't care about any of this. And I said to Ian, this seems to me like they're trying to distract me with stupid stuff.
And then like clockwork, Mitch is tweeting a detailed breakdown of the Zodiac Killer's life and then ends it by revealing that the Zodiac Killer was his dad. He was my dad. I can provide DNA samples if it helps. So Candace goes from saying Mitch was her answer from God.
I went to church and I prayed and I said, give me something. And it was the first email, just like I said to you. I mean, what did I call 4 minutes after the email was sent? I was just like, hey, maybe this is it. And I can't help but to see God in that and not, God as in people being trained in intelligence to make us think that everything is holy, but rather truly I saw God in that. It's stunning. It's hard not to see God in something like that happening in that order. You have an ally in me, and I hope you see that I am a fighter. And when I see good people and bad things happen to them, I will fight. And same for the people that watch this podcast. They are fighters as well. So, and they've had my back and they will have your back. I promise you that.
She then raised $150,000 for him on Give, Send, Go. She raised $150,000 for a domestic abuser. But now that Candace is being questioned in Twitter space, she backpedals to, guys, I was never accusing anyone of being at Fort Huachuca, but the fact that you are questioning me makes me believe it even more.
It was sort of one episode. I didn't exactly dedicate a whole series to it. The reaction has been so almost like violently obsessed that the public is now going, oh, okay, well, it feels like there's something here. I think that's just sort of our natural instinct.
Candace gets pressed on this.
What does that prove? What is the accusation? Because what it sounds like, and I mean, what the insinuation obviously is that this was a planning meeting for the assassination, and the people there had pre-knowledge of the assassination and were therefore in on it. So I think that if you are making that accusation, which in effect you are, right? You're in effect saying, okay, Erica Kirk and the head of TPUSA security were at this pre-assassination planning meeting.
Erica was there. Mitch has never said Erica was at that meeting.
Yes, he did.
There's a picture of Erica Kirk with a ponytail. That person matches who I saw at Fort Huachuca in the lobby the night before.
She's playing all the word games. She's right. She didn't technically say it. Mitch said it. She just said that Mitch was from God and that she is a conduit.
I struggled with my own soul going, I'm turning my back on him because I'm afraid of backlash for allowing him to tell the truth. And so my soul was in conflict. And I decided that, you know what, this is not my platform, okay? I genuinely believe this is God's platform. I am a conduit. I don't know why you have this luck in life. I really don't. I don't know why these things happen to you or why they happen to me. But I know that my prayer was very intentional that night, that I received that email. And that's another thing. I've never said Erica was at the meeting. Mitch has never said Erica was at that meeting. Oh. You had to put it at a percentage that the girl in the ponytail matches the description of Erica Kirk. What percentage would you put that at?
That's 95 to 99%. I can't imagine somebody else.
What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
All of her top comments seem to think Erica was at the meeting. That's clearly what they were both saying. So this guy just starts roasting Candace and she runs from him.
You're saying Erica Kirk was there, but not actually there on the day, but in the area, but not because of the assassination meeting. But it's like, okay, clearly the insinuation is that these people had something to do with the assassination, and you can make that claim or not, or pretend that you are, or pretend that you're not, but you obviously are. But that's all. I don't really care about any of that.
Thanks,
Harrison. But you have to.
Thank you. Let's give somebody. I think just because you say something clearly and obviously and clearly doesn't make it clear or obvious.
That's literally been your entire investigation.
It's a gut thing, okay? I don't know, but I know. I don't know, but I know. Again, I'm a gut player. It's common sense. Common sense, okay? I just sense that there's something there. I just know things because I've been around, because there are so many snares that I find myself in where I'm unable to articulate the point. That to me feels really fake and gay. I can't articulate it when somebody explains to me, well, the moon landings definitely happened because this, and the firmament, and they could get, and I'm just like, no, I don't know, instinctually, it just doesn't register to me. It just feels like that is a lie.
When Candace shakes her head, it sounds like maracas. Even Alex Jones is memeing Candace for how ridiculous her conspiracy theories are.
Word is, according to a source I had, having a big meeting about how Candace Owens is really a man, and that's why there's such a fight between him and Erica Kirk, is because 5 months ago, before Charlie got killed, Candace, also known as Big Mike Jr., got Erica Kirk pregnant.
Yo, true. Look at that bulge.
That's quite big.
Come on, baby, give it to me.
At the end of the day, Candace Owens' investigation isn't an investigation at all because it's never supposed to come to a conclusion. She doesn't want the investigation to end. She is averaging 129,000 viewers a stream. She's making millions. Now, this is hilarious because she's got every other conservative pundit panicking. Erica and Turning Point are getting dissected. Every time she smiles, people think it's proof she killed Charlie. She's insinuating that Alex Jones is bought by Turning Point because he asked them if Brian Harpool was at the fort and received plane tickets showing he wasn't.
You guys would later see those flights because Alex Jones then mysteriously has these flights.
She thinks it's suspicious because anyone who disagrees with her or fact checks her is suspicious. Candace Owens is claiming that Ben Shapiro would only call him out because he's bought by Israel.
When Candace Owens says, I don't know, but I know, that is retarded, and we are all more retarded for having heard it.
Well, Ben, when it comes to you and having worked with you, I just know you describe yourself as a Talmudic Jew, and I've learned what's in that Talmud, and I encourage other people at home to learn what is in that Talmud so that you know what Ben thinks of you, because he doesn't just hate me, he hates you too, white men. He hates all black people.
Well, that solves that. Tim Pool calls her out. She claimed he faked his shooting even though his staff and third-party journalists back it up. But Tim Pool isn't Jewish, so she opts for calling him a woman instead.
First and foremost, what you are seeing right there is on a display of testosterone. Men that speak to women like this are not tough guys.
You literally have a penis. We live in an era where people don't care about the truth. They say they have common sense, but really they have none. The idea that people are just hanging out in the lobby of a fort discussing how they're gonna murder Charlie Kirk is ridiculous. Yeah, it is kind of weird. It's just out in the lobby of this like military base that this guy walked into.
It doesn't make any sense. They're planning the assassination of a U.S. citizen. The only way that would happen is you would have rogue officers doing something like that. This is something that would probably be done as small a circle as possible. If you were going to do something like this, you probably wouldn't put on your uniform. That's what I would think. I figure you'd probably go to a bar and just say, we're going to whack this guy. I mean, that's like, why not? Like, let's drop the whole military facade. We're not soldiers anymore. We're murderers.
But no, they let Mitch see this meeting, whose dad is the Zodiac Killer and is 99% sure he saw people who provably weren't there. Candace is a fraud on every level and people support her anyway. It is vibes over facts. The truth doesn't matter. It's not an accident that the two most popular figures on opposite ends of the spectrum are serial liars. People have higher standards for YouTube drama channels. Swallow that pill. I want to thank Tommy C for coming on and giving his insights. That's Tommy C on YouTube. He's the original drama streamer. He also want you guys to check out Combat Tested Gaming.
Yeah. Combat Tested Gaming. They got a YouTube site. They're growing. It's from the VFW. They're on Twitch, YouTube, and me at Tommy C SFTP. I talk about YouTube drama. I've been doing it for years, and everybody's been copying me and making a lot more money doing it.
Hell yeah, dude! It's not old, dude. It's a classic. It's vintage.
It's classic YouTube drama. I streamed it first. Everybody else made videos. I just people made videos.
Thank you, Fume, for sponsoring this video, and shout out to the homies over on Patreon: Crimson Glass, Riveter, Christina Vina, Drinkobex, Necro Valley, Eddie Bizzle, Christopher H, Lucas Sif, Snoopy Poop Doop 2, Amura ML Bay, Drew is Sharing, Clown Factory, Mustard Shirt Guy, and the mega homies IGP, Your Taxi, Cyber Katie, Lori Loaded, Papa Gut, Tiz McFitz, Caden Lulin, BA Subway, Hawk and Load, Tarok, John Manfreda, Lucas, Katie Huck, Adrian, Manyez, Quap, and Carrie Johansson.